It's Travis Stirewalt with my friend Jeff Tussey in the Air Power High Point Finishing Lab. And today we're going to shoot some how-to videos and share with you some techniques, tips, tricks. Today, I'm going to let Jeff do most of the work. But we're going to sit here and logically go through the cleaning of a gun that was supposedly already clean with a gravity feed, okay? So Jeff, what are some of the common problems here? So somebody left, we picked this gun up this morning and there was some solvent in it.
This gun had a black enamel ran through it. It was flushed out with the compatible solvent and then put back. So
when you say flushed out, just so they understand, flushed out means you have flushed out through the gun.
Through the gun, like I normally would spray, but I just ran
And
some
so
solvent.
the assumption is it's clean and ready to go the next day. You literally empty out the solvent that you left just a little bit in here.
Yes.
You empty that out. You put the gun in a gun flush box, or you spray it out, get it completely clean, whatever. And now you're going to put more paint.
Yes.
To it.
Provided I'm going back with the same black paint.
Correct.
Flushing that solvent flush that we did would be sufficient. But if we wanted to go to a white or a completely different color than what we were using, that's what we're going to run into.
However, in a perfect world with multiple shifts at multiple plants, that doesn't always happen.
Exactly.
Somebody picks up this gun and they see, oh, it's been cleaned.
Right.
And so they go to spray. So let's go through the process here. We've already emptied out the excess solvent because we didn't want to deal with it right here.
To grab the cup off, first thing I want to do is take my air cap off. I want to inspect this. This is perfectly fine to submerge in solvent, Travis.
Okay.
This is a non-lubricated item.
Right.
So we can brush, clean. If we need to submerge,
So let's talk about that a second. So what we're talking about, solvent immersion, that would be like if you have buildup on the cap or the tip, you've got to make sure that you get everything off of there. Sometimes sometimes paint starts to build up because nobody cleaned it off all the way in the beginning.
Absolutely.
So a common question is, can we soak these or not?
Absolutely.
I know when you're talking in the powder world, or when you're talking about electrostatic guns, you have to be more careful in those realms with soaking certain objects versus the liquid guns.
Absolutely. There's a couple spots on here that are lube points. Those are the areas we do not want to soak. This
Correct.
is not a lube item, so we can absolutely submerge that. Anything they make items, a brooch that can get into nooks and crannies, but if I can avoid sticking anything in these holes, if I can submerge it and get that clean, that's what I want to do.
So let's look here. This is a clean gun. Okay, so I don't see a whole lot of paint. I mean, obviously not medicinally clean, but probably never is. But to the point, it looks clean here.
This is the case where I would want to take a wet rag, a damp rag, and just wipe this thing down. There's not a lot of buildup in this cap. You're right, Travis. Just a damp solvent rag, compatible solvent rag would be more than sufficient to clean that cap up.
Okay, so let's go down the pike here. Let's keep moving down the gun.
The next step I want to do, you have a choice. The needle nozzle, some people choose to take the nozzle off first.
Right.
You can do that as long as your needle is engaged. I never want to remove this nozzle with the needle fully engaged.
Right.
That will damage both the tip and the needle. Got my trigger disengaged.
Takes the pressure off of it too.
And as you can see here, there is
Okay.
still a lot of
We have a lot of, and I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but we have a lot of black paint on the needle.
Yes.
As well, I can see black paint on the inside chamber,
It's down inside. I know the
down
camera won't pick
inside,
that up.
and we can see it coming through tip there. just a
So you
little
would
bit.
clearly have some contamination issues if I were to run a wire, anything but that black enamel through here.
Right.
So now that the nozzle's off,
And it's pretty clear to see that there was solvent in there. Because it's dripping on the table a little bit, so the intentions were good.
the intentions were there. And again, if knowingly going back to the same black enamel,
Yep.
we had it sufficient. We want to take it down to this.
Yep, so we see there is paint and residue, and like where the paint and the solvent mix, you get that cloudy, we can see that there as well.
Right. Now, from a cleaning standpoint, we have tore this gun down sufficiently. We can take the fan adjustment off. That's not a cleaning step, it's an inspection step. We want to
Okay.
pull this out.
What are we looking for inside there?
We just want to, this is nothing but your fan adjustment, so
Right.
when you're gun, I say a perfect world, this is a non-wear item.
So
Very-
this seats up inside.
This is
So
what-
as you pull it back, you're allowing
More air
More
to
air.
adjust your fan pattern.
Correct.
This is a fan adjustment knob. A clean air, not a wear item. These things get damaged when the gun is not cleaned properly, things start leaking, fluid starts going where it should not be.
correct.
So
Okay.
I've made my inspection. This looks really good. Set it to the side.
All right, now when we're at this stage, what do we need to do to properly, before we lubricate what we need to do in this, where the lube points? What do we need to do to ensure clean with this gun right now?
At this point, we are ready to, whether I've taken my solvent brush, I'm running a little bit of compatible solvent through here, and I'm brushing out my threads, my fluid chambers. I want to get this area and this clean. That's my next
Yep.
step. Once we do that, gun's clean. I'm not going to disassemble the packing. The packing is only when we start getting leak points, leaking at our trigger here, where our needle runs through behind the trigger. That's when it's time to change the packing out. We're going to leave that alone because you're going to damage that packing trying to inspect it, pull it out, look at it. That packing only comes out when the gun is leaking and you're ready to replace that packing.
Right.
So we're not even going to go in there. We will lube it though when we reassemble this gun.
Okay, for the sake of speed, I guess let's just wipe down a couple of parts like you're doing right now.
Right. So we have everything clean.
For the video. And we're just going to maybe play a little Mr. Rogers pretend here.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Right.
We have cleaned everything, and we're going to put it back together in order.
Clean nozzle.
It's a good time to inspect everything while
Yes.
you're putting it back as well.
So I want to just kick and get it. I want to stick this in and get it out of my way. As far as the needle nozzle, we're going to go reverse. So my nozzle came out first, needle came out second. I'm going to go back and put my nozzle in first. I said
Okay.
reverse. But, so now there's no restrictions here. My needle's out of the way. I want to bottom that nozzle out, give it a little mojo,
Yep.
and that's it. I have my clean needle. I will put a spot of oil, and this is spray gun lube. Fully engage that needle.
And again, you're going to
Trigger adjustment knob.
pull in, make sure that it's seating properly.
Right. And your proper adjustment on this spring knob back here is engage your trigger. And when that bottoms out, you have the proper adjustment for
Very
your
good.
spray gun trigger. Air cap. And we are clean and ready for the next production.
Perfect. All right, man. I guess we could talk about the siphon feed, but it's really simple. I mean, you're going to be taking this off of the gun, taking the lid off, cleaning it. I mean,
Right.
and obviously solvent or damp rags, whatever you need to get the job done, depending on the paint
Right.
you're using.
Aluminum cup, they come in aluminum, stainless steel.
Yep.
Compatible solvent, clean this right up,
Yep.
and you're ready to go.
Perfect. Well, Jeff, thank you.
Thank you, Travis.
That was a good video.
Thank you.
We are wrapping up this video on the proper way to clean a spray gun, a liquid spray gun. By the way, what was the paint that was in that today? What kind of paint was it?
It was a black enamel.
It was a black enamel. So I'm sure different paints lead to different problems, or some are a little easier to handle than others.
Yes, and key, absolutely make sure you get with your material supplier using compatible solvent. Name, that's
Right.
right. Yeah, you will do more harm than good if using a incompatible solvent. You're gonna make a mess in that gun.
Correct.
Yes.
Good point. All right, well, this is Travis Stirewalt and Jeff Tussey signing out on this edition of Air Power Live. Be sure to check us on all the social media outlets and check us out on our new podcast, Air Power Airwaves. We'll get Jeff up there pretty soon and talk about the finishing lab and our what 2021
Absolutely.
looks like for projects. But anyway, thank you, and manufacture it a great day.